I know I had a conversation with one of my friends, and she was like, what do you think my purpose is? And I have clients asking me, what do I think? I can't say what your purpose is. You have to really do some self-reflecting and find that for yourself. And once you find that, start now. What are you waiting for? We might not even get tomorrow. Hey, welcome to C Notes. It's our last episode for the season. Woo! Let go and let God. That's our topic for today. But before we get into that, I just want to say how honored I am to have been able to interview all these amazing people in these different states and different cities episodes, because what I really wanted you to get at is that anybody is capable of doing whatever they want to do. You just have to start. The time is always now. And creating that life you don't want to escape. Start following your purpose, your passion, and really just doing it. That's what I'll say about that. But to get into our topic today, let go and let God. I'll just say I'm going to take it back to me therapying myself, which I did last season. But me therapying myself this session really gets at how I let go and how I let God. And I didn't know if I was going to tell you guys this story, but I'm going to tell it. I'm going to share it. So when my father passed away, last year, May, it really changed my life. And I know it may sound weird, but it really changed my life for the better, I would say. And of course, I miss him, and I wish he could be here with me to see all the things that I'm accomplishing. But that was I would say, that was God's plan. That was his time, and I'm okay with that. But during that time, when I got that phone call, of course, I cried in that moment. And I was in Illinois. He passed away. He was in Arkansas, where I'm originally from. And I remember getting that call. It was really surreal. I was actually talking at an event on suicide, which was crazy. And it was a break, and I had so many missed calls, and my sister just happened to be calling at that moment, and I was like, I need to take this. And I went outside, took the call. Actually, I didn't even go outside yet. I'm sitting there on our break, and she was like, Dad died. I'm like, what? That's how I found out my dad died. And I'm pretty sure she was in shock, and that's the only way that she can present the news to me. But she was like, yeah, Dad died. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I had literally just talked to him maybe an hour or two prior to my event. And she was like, he had a heart attack, and yeah, he's dead. And we just sat on the phone in silence for a good 30 minutes. And then I just went to my car. I went to my car and I cried. And I'm like, should I drive out there? I knew we couldn't do anything. So I ended up driving to Arkansas. It was an 8-hour drive the next day, so I could be there on Monday to plan all the services. And it was a lot, but I held it together. Everybody was telling me I had to be strong for my siblings, and I was strong. And I really don't show emotions to people. And I'm a Cancer, y'all. I'm gonna say all my big three are water signs, but I'm very, very emotional, but I don't show sadness. I'm always optimistic. I'm very, very positive. To really get high emotions out of me, it has to be something intense for me to show that. But I can articulate it without showing what I'll say breakdowns look like to other people. But anyways, everybody's telling me to be strong because I'm already man strong. And on that 8-hour drive back, those last 2 hours, I was like, oh, I felt myself breaking down. And I'm trying to call everybody, because talking is a distraction for me, because I love to talk if it's good conversation. So I'm trying to call everybody, nobody's answering. Finally, somebody answered, and I called that person because they had lost their father, and I thought that, I don't know, that it could be of help. They answered, but I kept losing service. And finally, it was like, no, you're not talking to nobody. You need to feel these emotions. You need to feel these feelings that you be telling everybody else to feel. And I just broke down. And I broke down, and I had to pull over. And this was my first time asking God for anything, because when I pray, I always pray, and I'm thankful, and I'm always thankful for God waking me up, thankful for being healthy, thankful for God making me land safe somewhere. I'm just thankful, and that's how I pray to God. I don't ask God for things. I feel like it's very selfish. As I mentioned, the things that some people ask God for husbands and spouses and cars and jobs. God already gave you all the tools you need to obtain those things, and you're just not doing it. Faith without works is dead. So in this moment, I'm like, God, I do not want to be strong anymore. Take the will. And not that I wanted to kill myself or anything, but just take that will, that free will that I'm telling everybody. I'm like, I asked God to take my free will, and I just wanted to be aligned with what God felt, where God knows is my purpose. And yeah, I had my moment. I broke down and I asked God to take the wheel. And literally from that moment on, I felt like my whole entire life changed. I had already I had already decided to stop eating meat that day or prior, May 20th. And everything that I had my last conversation with my father. He was like, I always thought you would write a book. And yeah, I decided to write that book on that drive. I decided to start a podcast. I came up with the main C notes. I came up with everything on that drive. And I just started doing it. It was like, why wait? And even when I wrote my book, I felt like I rushed it. But it was like, I said, I don't know. I don't feel like it's nothing more I can say. Now it is, because I've learned a lot throughout this last year. But at that moment, I'm like, is it ready? Why are you waiting to put it out there? Put it out there. So I put it out there. I wrote another book. And even with the podcast, I'm super, I'll say, timid and reserved. And it was weird for me to get behind this camera and talk to all of you guys and to decide to provide therapy for the world. But that's what I'm going to do. So I'll say in that moment when I had my breakdown, I literally surrendered myself to God, and I decided to let go and let God. And when I say let God, or that statement or that phrase, it's literally to align yourself with God's purpose, your purpose. Why are you here in life? And a lot of the guests that I've talked to, they have found their purpose, whether that's singing, directing, videography, painting, writing books, poetry. They found it and they're living it. They are embodying God energy that He gave us, that He put inside of us. And I mentioned this in one of the episodes, but really to find your purpose is whatever you really enjoyed as a child. I talked about this before too. You are truly your most authentic self, 5 and under. You haven't been really tainted by the world, by your parents, by your teachers, friends, or siblings. You know at the core what you like, you know what you don't like, you know what you're passionate about, you know what drives you, you know what makes you laugh, you know what, I'll say, inspires you. And I'll just say, tap into your inner child, write that letter, do some self-reflecting, and really see what inspired you as a child to find your purpose. I know I had a conversation with one of my friends, and she was like, what do you think my purpose is? And I have clients asking me, what do I think? I can't say what your purpose is. You have to really do some self-reflecting and find that for yourself. And once you find that, start now. What are you waiting for? As I said before, literally, what are you waiting for? We might not even get tomorrow. And I think a lot of times people have this, I'll say, entitlement with time and procrastinating. And it's like, you may not even get tomorrow. So what are you waiting for? Start today. Do some research. Ask those questions. Closed mouths don't get fed. Really start putting yourself in environments where you see yourself already right now. Yeah, I'll say that. But really starting right now. God already gave you everything you need. And once again, faith without works is dead. So if you don't decide to do any steps to get where you want to be in life, it's not going to happen. It's not magic. It can be magical, but it's not going to happen unless you take those steps to start right now, today, in this moment, to get to get the life you don't want to escape. You have to start now. I don't know, this conversation, this topic, it was really hard for me to, I'll say have, because even in my sessions and the training, the schooling, all of that, they always said, don't bring up religion or God. And I don't bring up religion because I don't have a religion or anything that I follow, but I know wholeheartedly that I believe in God. And it was just a hard topic because I'll say I hadn't always had the strongest relationship with God, but through that moment and all my life, I always knew God was real. And I know this may seem off topic, but I want you guys to know this too. In the first episode, I talked about freeing your mind from yourself, to find whatever you need. You have to lose your mind in order to free your mind. And and I called it the inner critic, but now I'm just saying that voice in your head. We need to silence it. And another way we can silence it is stop saying we think and we believe in, and just talk about what you know. And I know God is real. And I know my purpose is therapy and to provide therapy for the world. And I'll say I can't properly do that if I don't include God, because that is my purpose. God gave me this purpose and this passion. And yeah, it was tough to say that I was going to bring up God and just have a whole episode about God, but that's my calling. That's what I know I'm called to do. This episode was going to be, it's either now or never, but I'm like, no. How I got here and how I'm at peace and how I am being blessed and how I am one of God's favorite creation is by knowing God is real and having a total 100% faith in God and knowing that everything is going to be all right. I don't have to worry. I don't have to stress. And even if I have my moments, I'm not going to stay in those emotions or those feelings that we get so stuck in. That we get so stuck in. But yes, the topic of God is a very hard topic to discuss, but in my truth and being authentic, I can't be authentic if I don't bring up God, because it's a part. God is a part of me. God body energy, and I can't do anything other than praise God and be blessed and thankful that God chooses me to wake up every day and to be able to provide this information to the world. So I'm very happy. I'm very honored to be chosen to be able to give you guys this information. And of course, it's Music Therapy Podcast. And the song that I want to play for you guys is a song by Ciara. I actually met her, I would say, a year ago. Last year, before a year ago. So I met her last year, and she was like, literally the day I met her, or the moment I met her, she was just looking at me and she was like, I do not do this. I don't do this at all. And she was the first person who told me, she was like, it's a glow about you. It's this light around you. It's a light surrounding you. And I see you being, I don't know, I keep seeing you talking to the masses. I see you being a preacher, prophet. I'm like, I don't know about that. Maybe motivational speaker. But she was like, and she couldn't stop. And she was like, I'm telling you, I don't do this. And that was the first start. Literally, not even 2 days later, I met somebody else. They said, okay, preacher. Then somebody else, like, during that whole week when she said it, like 3 people said preacher, prophet, and it's just been going on. And I'm not there yet, but let me get to her song. It's called X Feelings.
I deserve peace. I had to learn to love me.
And in this song, she talks about how she's so thankful that God saved her. And she talked about freeing herself from feelings and emotions. And my Fathers and Fairy Tales episode, fairy tales are not a myth. And if I can get any message across from you guys, I want you guys to know fairy tales are not a myth. All those Disney movies, go watch some Disney movies. Literally anything that you want in life, you can get it. You have to envision it, see it, manifest it, affirm, affirmations, do whatever you need to do to make it become a reality. Fairy tales are not a myth. I'm walking proof of it. Everything I want in life, I go for it. And I talked about the different things I've done in life. I've worked everywhere from McDonald's to probation officer to public defender to now author, poet, podcast host. I'm just anything that I desire in my mind. If it pops up, if I feel it in my heart and I know that that's something I want to try, I'm gonna try it. And you guys just have to let go and let God, and you guys will see fairy tales are not a myth. You get to write your own story, and that's what this podcast is all about, helping you guys see that you get to write your own story. You have to let go and let God, let go of that fear, let go of those negative thoughts, let go of those toxic people. And I want to mention, because so you guys get, I'm going to keep repeating those things you need to do in order to silence that inner critic, that voice inside your head. Affirmations are so important. affirm every day everything that you want in life. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be I am beautiful, I am smart, I am this, it could be I am an author, I am a poet, I am a director, I am I'm a wife, I'm whatever you want. And don't say I will be, I am. So you can, it's more likely to happen when you already know. Because this experience that I experienced, the guy asked us at a concert, do you believe you are at this concert, or do you know you're at this concert? So just being careful with the words that you say, because I know I'm a wife, I know I'm an author, I know whatever I want, that's what I'm gonna say. And that's how those affirmations work. And they're simple. And I tell everybody, life is simple, we make it complicated. This is what you need to do. Affirmations. Second, combating every negative thought that comes to your mind. And it may not be negative, unhealthy thought that comes to your mind. If it pops up, just say, no, it's not true. Affirm what you know is true. And then the last thing is detaching yourself, letting go of those toxic people, family members, friends, whoever, even co-workers, I'm gonna say, because a lot of people are still working jobs, and I'm all about entrepreneurship, but a lot of people are working jobs and they have very toxic work friends or work wives and work buddies. But letting go of those toxic people, and letting go of people is the hardest thing to do. It's not saying you don't love them anymore, but it's letting go and just providing an instance, not becoming too common. And I say that to say, I had a conversation with one of my clients, and she was like, every time I'm deciding to provide space for my mom, it's like, I feel so bad. I'm like, you know how you, and I don't want to say it, but it's true. When you detoxing from drugs, you want it even more. Your body is craving it, and then you going through that. That's what happens when you need to detox from friends. When you decide that you're going to detox from a person, your body craves them even more, because you're saying that, you are intentionally saying that I'm going to provide this distance. So now your mind is trying to be in control and tell you, you need to be around your mom. That's your mom. Don't make it, you know what I'm saying? No, I need to provide this space. And this is you combating those thoughts too. Sometimes your body, when it detoxes, it craves what you shouldn't want anyway. Just like those drugs, just like those alcohol. And I'll say this too, with addictions and vices. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm trying to get y'all some information before I leave with this last episode this season. It's easy to see drugs, alcohol, gambling, even shopping as an addiction, and now video games as an addiction, TV as an addiction. It's in the phone, social media. It's easy to see those things as addictions. It's hard to see loved ones as an addiction. It's hard to see food as an addiction, because we made it up in our mind, or we believe and think that we need food to survive. So now we made it up in our mind that these unhealthy foods is what we need to survive. It's like, it's food. I need this to live. But not all that food you need to survive. You got to be mindful of the things you put in your body. You are what you eat. You are what you consume. Same with the people you're around. You have to be mindful of the people that you surround yourself with, because people are addiction too, and especially toxic and unhealthy people. You have to create this within yourself to be around healthy people, and knowing that it is going to be a struggle to let go, because they became an addiction for you. This toxicity and I'll say the drama that's filled with them, because it's like, oh wow, like they hear a little gossip here and there, because it's an addiction. And you have to know and be strong than that mind, be stronger than the people around you, and know that it's not that I'm thinking I'm better than anyone. It's for me. It's for my sanity. It's for my peace. Because you're going to keep missing your blessings. You're going to keep missing that bus, and you don't let go. And I'm saying, you don't let go and you don't let God take control, surrender yourself, and really find that peace within yourself. You're going to always be filled with anxiety. You're going to always be filled with frustration and all those, I'll say, emotions and feelings that you don't want to be filled with, because that's what you're allowing inside your body. But yeah, that's our episode for today. Let go and let God. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me, all this travel, music, therapy, and fashion. I had an amazing, I'll say, this has been great. And I know season 3 is going to be better. It's going to keep getting better. Thank you guys for being on this journey once again. All right, y'all. That's been my last episode. But yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this journey once again. It's been amazing. And if you're not following me on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, go follow C Notes 11. All right. Thank you guys for being a part of this journey. Once again, it's your favorite therapist and favorite author, Cliche Away Delight. If you haven't got the book, go get it now. And remember, let go and let God.